Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 514. Today is Sunday, August 23rd, 2026, and I'm glad you could join me today. We have a second cup of coffee, and then I will just lightly laugh at myself. So, it was the case where I had recorded for a long time last week. I was very close to finishing some things, so I concluded that I should record again after I'd finished things. And I finished one of the two things. It was so close. But it's okay. And then it would be the case where I wanted to show off my new projects before we settle back into a every 2 weeks recording schedule. So whatever. So it would be the case where and then it was also the case where I think I drank half my coffee, finishing the stash dash calculations, which frustratingly enough still aren't done. um, but I don't know, it'll be interesting to see. We'll see where the totals come in actually, because I'm not sure. So, as expected, um, I did finish the willow scarf. So this is a Nancy Marchant pattern that I knit out of Apothecary, um, merino silk, um, in a teal colorway and a variegated white. Um, and so we have ample scarf in my book, so that's lovely, and everything is all fresh and clean and blocked. I didn't end up pinning it out, I just laid the blocking mats out on the floor and just zhuzhed it by hand, and like there was no problem with getting an excellent length and width, and I'm sure as it's worn it will shift, or would it be? But yeah, so it's definitely like at least 8 feet long and at least a foot and a half wide. So I think this is a true proper scarf for sure. Um, and then obviously very gorgeous. Um, so definitely loved working with that Apothecary yarn, so it was like a light fingering. Um, definitely got so the scarf was 2 repeats wide, and then it ended up being 12 repeats long. Um, instead of doing the called for um, Italian bind off, I just decided to do my normal knit two together, and I think it has perfect stretch. um, and I did the 2 color Italian cast on for the cast on, and it's like a smidge. It's like a smidge more tighter and structured, but I don't think that changed. Yeah. Like the cast off I ended up doing was a little bit nicer, but I don't think you can really tell the difference there, so it was not an important detail. Um, I was able to use both yarns without breaking. This is how much I have left over, so I have 1.74 and 1.8 grams remaining. So I'll have to, would it be, it may just be the case where I just have to make like a little butterfly and call it good. So fairly, um, after I swatched, I had the pattern repeat memorized. It was There are a couple of mistakes in it, but it's not terrible generally. What would it be? The edges of brioche are always hard for me, even if it was a scarf. Looks so nice. So it'll probably be the case where I um show off the finished object to my friends and then give it away to its intended recipient. Um, because it does need to be shared at least a little bit, I'm assuming. So hopefully, or would it be? It's a gift for my nanny. All is well. Um, so, um, yeah, it was really, really lovely to knit. Really loving the colors. Absolutely would have been perfect colors for me too, but I'm glad we found a good use for the yarn. So this ended up counting for 1,737 meters for Stash Dash. And then I also ended up including two more things, which was that I repaired the original orange hexagon socks for my spouse by putting patches on the bottom. And then, oh, that probably means, there might be more repairs that I could do. um, or there were repairs that I did that have now left my brain. I don't know, whatever. I'll go check and see because there might actually be a couple more that I ended up doing. Um, but yeah, no, and then there's what would it be? So there could be a couple more there, but it shouldn't end up adding to be too much. Um, so so right now I'm at oh, that's weird. All right. So right now I'm at 11,809. Sorry. Apparently I had to think about the formula for a little bit longer. And there is very likely one more thing that will be added to the total. So we'll talk about that in spinning. So with this project being finished, ended up spending last Sunday morning deciding what I wanted to do next. So I did decide to pull out a shawl kit. And then it was the case where I decided to pull out what I would consider to be the most cursed yarn in my stash. So we'll start off with the shawl. Up. We are, in fact, in the middle of a row and it's slipped off the needles. So I ended up going grocery shopping yesterday and we're able to combine that with a visit to the playground that shares the parking lot of the grocery store because there's nothing better than a combo trip. Um, but it is definitely the case where my son probably doesn't have good enough recall to not be trapped in a cart. And my daughter definitely doesn't have good enough recall. So we trap my daughter in the cart, but then whatever. It's hard. Um, it's definitely a lot easier to go grocery shopping without the children, but it's definitely much better to park once to visit the park and the grocery store, so who knows. Um, but it was the case where like I parked in the grocery store parking lot, and then I went to, it must have been, I don't even know what ended up happening, but I parked, I pulled out, oh no, it was even worse than that. It was the case where I went to get my water bottle as we were driving to the grocery store. It was stopped at like a turn, whatever, at a light to make a turn. And then I pull my water bottle out of my bag and I realize it's open. So, the at least half to two-thirds of the water bottle, this water bottle. So it's not like, it's probably, I think it's like a 17 ounce, 20 ounce, 20-ounce water bottle dumped in my purse and also ended up soaking my knitting bag. So we'll see how much chaos we have. Um, so what I am knitting right now is the crosswind shawl. Um, so um, what was it? It is this is a kit that I ended up picking up um from Two Guys Yarn Company, and then Jean, one of the two guys behind it, ended up designing this shawl. Is like inspired by a crazy trip to Estes, I guess. um, so um, it was specifically designed for this base, which is called Snowball, and it is 80% BFL and then 20% like nylon sparkle. Um, so it is very softly spun. Um, it is definitely not a sock yarn at all. No part of this is a sock yarn. It's so two ply, um fairly easy actually to end up breaking by hand. Um and it is making like super um a super soft and lovely fabric. Um so the original of the shawl was knit in a like charcoal foggy gray and a bright red. But obviously this is me, so I bought blue instead. And it's a case where so the pattern is still available on Ravelry, but Two Guys Yarn Company um, has closed down, so I don't think that it'll be possible to get this base nor these colors. Alas. And it would be the case where this is I believe that it is, I don't know, it's like on, it's a light, it's a light fingering or a lighter fingering. Um, so like I want to say it's like a 550 yard per 100 gram sort of piece. Um, so far everything has been going fairly smooth. But it was a case where I hadn't realized when I had it wasn't until like I got into the flow of the pattern that I realized um the striking visual effect of this shawl is this pattern of twisted rib, and um, this block is created by intarsia. So, so it would be the case where, um, so amusingly, not only is this, or would it be like I'm really liking how it's turning out. I just have to, whatever. I lightly complain about the execution. So in order to sort of, or basically the shawl was not uh designed in a way to minimize breaking yarn. So there are quite a few opportunities to break yarn during the pattern. So that's all. The pattern does explicitly say you should weave in your ends as soon as possible. uh I I think I'm whatever. I have not followed this directive, and we'll see where this leads me. Um but yeah, so far so good. Um since it is like a three fingering skein shawl, and it does anticipate that you end up using um quite a lot of the yarn, so it should end up making a pretty good size shawl. And it definitely qualifies as a two neutrals and a bright, so I'm thinking that the visual effect of these yarns together was very good. So I'm using, the colorways are number 5 Foggy Bottom and Bow Tie. So Bow Tie is blue. Number 5 is the charcoaly. Um, so I am overall enjoying things. It's just the case where, would it be? I don't know if it's, I don't know. There's sometimes where I'm not quite in the mood to work on this, but we'll get into the details there in a little bit. Um, so we're so close to being able to share. It was the case where when I set up the shawl initially, I like got to a certain point and then decided I just needed to rip out and start over. So I was glad that I ended up doing that. And it will be interesting when I get to a new section, because I did end up buying it as a kit directly from the vendor. They also included a stitch marker set, a printed copy of the pattern in a sleeve, and everything else. So, um, so this is crescent shaped shawl. It probably is due. So this is the twisted ribbing, which has very excellent texture to it. And then we have this striping sequence. I was a little impatient with the first one, but I don't think it'll end up being too noticeable. So I am working on section 3 of the shawl right now, um, which is all good. Um, and I probably will end up switching it to a larger cable pretty soon because I don't want it to slip off. Um, and then roughly speaking, I just have the pattern going right now. I just have it with a pencil in its sleeve. Um, but we'll find. I don't know what's going on here, but I guess the images don't end up showing as nicely like epic looking how epic looking the little design feature is, but it's all good. So there we go. So far so good. Um, Plugging away on this one. Um, it just requires some occasional counting. Oh yeah, you can see some of the I can see some of the slightly damp spot on the sleeve, so it probably helps quite a bit. So it was the case where the stitch marker set also included the coupon code for the digital copy, but since it is like more of like a counting rows sort of shawl, it's fine. So in here we can share the yarns that I'm using. Um, so very very tonal gray and charcoal color, and then the blue is also tonal too, but maybe not quite as light and dark. So far so good there. Um, the other project that I'm working on is swatching. Um, but I will have to wait um, to get started. Um, so basically, this was more of like an exercise in figuring out what to do. Um, but I don't even know where some of this stuff is gone to. So it's okay. So what we have going on here is I have been working with a pair of red yarns. So I had one of these is more orange leaning. This is the whole extent of it. It's probably 15K yards here. And then I have this other guy here, which is more of a blue leaning red. Um, Both of them are hand spun. The more orangey one was some mystery Shetland. That was too orange and brown for me, and I ended up using baking soda to desaturate it, and that was the color that ended up coming out. I can't recall if I had, um, what is it? I can't recall if I had dyed it red after the fact. And then the other one is a merino silk from Nest that was a notorious bleeder. So my conclusion was the only correct thing that I could do was combine red with red. Um, and I've been swatching for the long line cardigan. And so this is what I've sort of come to is that you can um, sort of see the like both tones of red, but they end up playing together pretty nicely in a like honeycomb pattern. So this would end up being the wrong side, which almost looks like ripping in a way. Um, But what I need to confirm before I can continue is, oh dear. That's not great. Well, at least that one isn't crazy. Yeah, that one was definitely just stepped on. um, so what I need to confirm is if the gauge that I'm getting with a set of needles is actually like in the ballpark for the pattern itself. Um, but the thought process would be I combine these two yarns together and then I can make a set-in sleeve um, long open front cardigan with this yarn. Um, the merino silk is super gorgeous. It's just it's bleeder. And I didn't necessarily have enough of it in order to make a sweater by itself. Um, and then the Shetland yarn has been lingering in the stash for quite some time. So it would be the case where I do get the change in color basically, but then I don't necessarily have would it be like danger of the colors end up getting ruined. So I think this is the way. I tried a couple of different things. So it would be the case where the gauge on 3mm needles is just way too loose for this guy. I tried knitting them together for a while, but then that would end up sort of defeating the purpose because I don't really have enough for a sweater. And then I tried some sort of like syncopated brioche thing, but I kept like there was an awful lot of misstitches. I went back to ribbing again with the zeros, and so that was definitely better. Um, but I think this honeycomb is gonna be the winner. So it combines the yarns together. It has a nice texture, but the pattern itself is stockinette and ribbing, so it will be a bit of a modification. But basically, what I ended up doing was, since I had sort of met the time window pretty close for the Hohi Fall Cal, I signed up, or would it be? Because there's no, like, the rules are funny, but I signed up for 3 patterns, so the Grace Notes pullover, the Longline pullover, and the Lace and Fade boxy, because those are 3 Hohi patterns that I have yarn for that I've intended to knit. Since she had her pattern sale, I went ahead and bought the 2 that I didn't have, which were the Longline and the Lace and Fade. Um, have I even swatched for the Lace and Fade? No. Is it possible I won't ever do it for the knit along? Yes. Um, and then here is the yarn that I'm planning to use for the Grace Notes. But it was the case where at the very least, like I'm in the queue, maybe it will take me longer than the Cal period in order to finish that cardigan, but it's fine. But what that means is that I just have one project. after working on that swatch. Um which I still need to verify. I got an acceptable gauge on it. Would it be? I think, but like this one is, would it be? It is, a 3-ply, probably light fingering. Yeah. It's, it's actually like a 3-ply. It's actually a chain ply. Um, so, so it would be the case where, it's, maybe like it probably is like a pretty decent sweater yarn. It's definitely not unicorn and butterfly soft for sure, like at Shetland. There's only so much you can do. um, but I really did just want to be like, okay, we're gonna use up this yarn. I had already tagged it for the long line. It felt like a lot of things were coming together, but then also I'm making it a little bit more brioche. So we'll see where the numbers come in and how much annoyance I have to do, or because I'm putting a brioche pattern in, um, or inserting brioche into this while still using the numbers and shape and that sort of thing. Um, Hopefully it results in I'll have the tight enough needle for it because it's just pretty fine. The nest that I have is much more or much closer to fingering. Um, I can't tell right now if it's it is a 3-ply, so it would be. It's just a little bit cursed, that's all. It happens. So, use some hand spun. Should be good. If not, I have some backup plans if it totally fails. Um, just depends on where I'm at. Um, I would like to get to use up an older sweater quantities, so we'll see how it goes. Um, so in terms of what I thought would be done, but is not quite. So this is my latest sweater spin. It is using some Shetland that I dyed at yarn school, as well as 2 braids of fiber that I ended up picking up at my first Bay Area yarn crawl. So it is a Machete Shop and K. Lauritzian. So 2 braids of Targi, 1 braid of superwash merino, 2 of Shetland, and then we get this super lovely marl going on here. And I'm very proud because in my quest to relax, um, I'm pretty sure that this is a 3-ply worsted weight. So that's very exciting news for me. It's been a very long time since I've been able to do a 3-ply worsted weight. And so far it seems like it has been pretty consistent overall, so that's good. So this is what I ended up applying last night. I got to the point, and then these are the remainders of the bobbins, so I ended up filling up 6 bobbins with the 20 ounces of fiber. I definitely did have, so these Anchorworks bobbins, I think I managed to cram a lot more onto them. So it was the case where I did end up um pulling, or would it be? So it was the case where I managed to fill my jumbo bobbin before I had finished um or it felt like the halfway point, so I probably will end up having 3 skeins in the end. But it was the case where um I've emptied 2 of my Anchorworks bobbins. I have the 3rd one on there. I did 2 Anchorworks and 1 wood, and now we're to 2 wood and Anchorworks. And probably what's going to end up happening is I'll have to bracelet to get this done. But it wasn't really possible to get all this plied in time, so it's fine. Um, it was like, was I close? Yeah. Am I gonna have to? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how everything goes. But um, like I don't think I'll be able to finish all of that with this. So I'm just packing, really packing it on the bobbin, like really like getting it all the way to the very edge. So I'll have to get, I'll probably have two big skeins and a small one in the end. But where's the way? So, so I'm very curious what my yardage total will be, and then I get to basically 4x it for Stash Dash. So very, very exciting. Um, and then since it has a lot of turkey in it, it's probably gonna poof, so maybe it's even thicker than worsted weight at this point. It's just plying up worsted, I think, right now. So that feels a lot like progress. Um, what hasn't happened is I haven't decided what my next spinning project's going to be. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I yeah, I'm not sure. But I'm so happy with the results that I ended up getting. Like feels that feels like winning right now is not spending months and months on a project, being able to finish something in the summer. Um feels feels like winning right now. So that's good. Um and it was the case where I was almost wondering for that sweater spin that took me years. That could have been a long line candidate as well. So who knows? But like it ends up taking off quite a few goals, which was or would it be like there's still a lot of fiber overflow going on right now. So um like I definitely did open up a couple holes in my stash, getting all of the bits and pieces for this together, but poor overflowing stash. Oh, it's all good. So so I'll have to figure out what I want to do if I want to end up doing something a bit smaller. Um, it's also the case where, yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to figure out what makes sense. Um, what what I feel like doing. Um, yeah, and that will be the case. Yeah. So, um, I don't know that there's anything that I immediately want to cast on. I'm just so excited I made thick yarn. Hurrah. So, um, yeah, so I still have to decide what I'm gonna do. Um, it may just be where I take the brake band off my spinning wheel for a little bit, and work on a couple knitting projects for a while. It is a case where, like, one thing that still needs to be finished is I still need to get the ribbon on my nightfall sweater, which I do have a plan to do that next week or next weekend. Would it be? It was like I need to be with my sewing friends. um, yeah. And then I think when I'm all done with the stash edge crafting, then I can resume my mending fun, which I'd sort of put on hold. So, that also might end up getting carried over to the friends that sew. It's all good. Um, so yeah, so we'll see how things come together. But didn't want to show like the new direction for a while, and hopefully, what would it be? Hopefully, I also just figure out what type of or what exactly I want to spin, but I think it's okay to let that linger for a bit. Like I do feel I I just have to take the win and um yeah, it will yeah, and then it will be the case where I'm taking a color class at Lambtown this year, so I don't think I actually need things clear and ready for spinning purposes, but I may end up carrying um some of the things I've done with me, um, just so I can like consult and figure out figure out what's going on. Um, yeah, because maybe it'll be the case where after I take that class, then I don't know. I don't think I'm not gonna spend till after October though, so I'll have to, or would it be? It'd be the case where one thing that I do want to do is think about what I want, or whether or not I'm ready to start the big Romney project now that I've proven to myself that I can spin thick. And I've done a couple of different trial runs of blending color in this way, so I just need a consult before um I start going down that path or not. Um, so we'll see. But nothing's really speaking to me right now in terms of I need to spin this right away. So um that's fine. So let's see. Um, so it should be the case where I'm back on a more regular schedule for a while. Um, what would it be? So it should be the case where, um, and then Labor Day's like super late this year. So it's probably going to be the case where, um, I'll have to see how crazy it is. Um, no, or it's just the case where, I will be, so next time we're recording, it'll be September, no big deal. Um, eh, actually, it'll be okay. I think I'm just being weird about weeks. So yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad. So we can avoid house guests, and it'll be fine. Um, so I'll be on a more regular recording schedule for the next couple weeks, so that should be good. And I'm glad, or would it be? There was plenty of content for today's episode. I knew having a fresh start, change in direction was all going to result in quite a lot to talk about. So, should be good. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye bye.